friends, welcome back. And welcome to another reading vlog. In this reading vlog, we are beginning the Goodreads Choice Awards content, which is so exciting. I love this time of the year. It is sort of the beginning point of end of the year content that moves into beginning of the year content, and it's all just very fun and exciting all around. And this is no different. So for this season of the Goodreads Choice Awards, I have put every book that is in the long list of the Goodreads Choice Awards on a spinner wheel. What made the cut on the spinner wheels, you might be asking? Ones that I'm interested in. Books on the list that I either own and want to read, or ones that sound familiar and I'd be open to reading. I just did the math. I've only read 3 of the 20 on the long list of the fantasy genre, and the ones that are remaining, I'm only interested in 11 of them. So those are the ones that are on the list. But that being said, we can do our first spin and see what book we'll be starting with for this video. You ready? I don't have this one yet. Oh my god. Okay, well, we got The Strength of the Few. All right. I mean, I am very excited for this sequel. The first book is The Will of the Many. It was in my best books of the year last year, and I anticipate this being just as good, if not better. I can't believe that that's the one that I got. I was hoping for a standalone. I do have to do some work and at least watch a recap video of book 1 just to refresh my memory on who's who and what's going on. I do remember loving everything about it. I think that once I watch a small video, it'll be reignited. I will be ready to go. So after I do that and I have the book in my hands, we'll be off to the races. So let's go buy the book. Hi, hello. We are on our way to the bookstore. I'm in the passenger seat because I have a driver today. Caleb is with us. He had to run into the hardware store to get some caulk, to be clear, C-A-U-L-K. We're putting a glass block window in our house, and it is absolutely stunning. I can't wait to show you. And it's so exciting to be able to start sharing some home projects again. So those are on the horizon. It's all very exciting. We're finishing out our primary bathroom, and it's on its way. So Caleb is grabbing some materials to finish the window today. We are next stopping at the bookstore. I have The Strength of the Few on hold for me, ready to go. I'm really excited about it. This will be book 1 for this video, and I'm just so prepared to lock in for the next week or so and read as much as I possibly can. I want to have realistic expectations because I do work all weekend, and I know I work again on Tuesday or something. I still work at the hospital as an ICU nurse, so I'm going to do as much as I possibly can, but I'm very excited to be reading these nominees. So first things first, let's go to the bookstore.
It could be sweet, dare to honestly see.
Hi, we're back home. The package has been secured, and there's one thing that we have to do before anything else, and that's flip the dust jacket around. I actually don't hate this cover, but I do have the old cover of The Will of the Many, so that means that I will be flipping this dust jacket around to have this cover instead. Now that I'm looking at it in person, I kind of don't like it more than the new one. Is that kind of crazy? I was fully expecting to flip it around immediately. Yeah, I guess I'm not doing that. I kind of like the purple, gray, and blues of this cover. In an unexpected turn of events, I'm not going to flip it around. Interesting. But in order to start this one, I do have to watch a recap video of The Will of the Many. I feel like I do remember the plot for the most part, but I do think that watching a recap video will just reiterate the key points. I need to remember names of people specifically, and once I do that, I'll be good to go. So the name of the game right now is actually to finish a book that I only have maybe 50 pages left of or so, and that's Storybook Ending by Moira McDonald. I'm reading this for short form content on Instagram and TikTok. I have a spinner wheel with my whole physical owned TBR, which is over 500 books, and I've been spinning that wheel for short form, so that's that book. I'm going to finish that very quickly, and then I will be watching a recap video of The Will of the Many and moving into The Strength of the Few, which I'm very excited about. But while we were out at the bookstore, I also got another book. Surprise, surprise. It is Olga Ravin's new book. It's called The Wax Child. I read The Employees by this author and really, really loved it. And this was a bestseller for last month of Tamara Bookstore, the indie that I usually go to. And I'm a member there. So members get 40% off the previous month's bestsellers. So I got 40% off on this. I was like, of course I'm wasting money not getting it. So I got that one too. Then right across the street from the bookstore, there actually is a really cool vintage like thrift store. And I did get a couple items of clothing, which I'm really excited about. This is like, oh, hello. Hi, Buggo. Oh, Juno doesn't make an appearance often. Hi. She just wanted to say hi. Hi, sweetie girl. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, well, Buggo, I can show you too. But this sweater, I feel like, is the quintessential fall energy. It's just gonna look so good with any outfit, but I'm thinking about layering like a white linen button up underneath it. It's so good. The colors are stunning. Wow. I felt like it was time for a new flannel, and I really felt like these colors were calling to me. Sort of like green, pink, white, blue. I don't know. It just felt good. It felt good in the store. When I thought about putting it back on the rack, I had the thought that I know for whatever reason, if I leave without it, I will be thinking about this. So I decided to get it. The flannel that I wear pretty much all the time, or have been wearing, I have had for probably close to 8 years. And I, again, just felt like it was time for a new one. And then look at this vest. I love a sweater vest. If there's one thing about me, it's I love a sweater vest. It's literally like a Thanksgiving cornucopia. Stop it right now. It looks even better on camera, honestly. Wow. What a time to be alive. And it's like exactly my size. It's so good. It's so soft knit. Like, that is something about me. Another thing about me is that nothing can be itchy. Just look at it. Wow. Iconic. But that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. I'm really excited about all the things, and I cannot wait to get my teeth into The Strength of the Few. I think it's going to be good. I wasn't expecting to even read it this year. I was expecting it to be on a bunch of people's like best of books of this year. And then I would probably read it in January for like Reading Booktubers best books. But the spinner wheel chose for me, and I guess I will be reading it now. So let's go. Hello, I'm back. I haven't read anything for this video yet, but I did want to let you know that I did finally finish Storybook Ending, which was for, my short form content. And I'm so glad that I finally read it. It did not go as well as I was hoping, but now I am primed and ready to get back into the world of The Will of the Many. Caleb and I ordered some Detroit style pizza for dinner. It is here. We are going to go eat it, watch a movie, and then I'm going to cuddle up in bed and get into The Strength of the Few. Let's go.
Living at ease, not ego and greed.
Hello, good morning. Happy Monday. We have lofty goals over the next 2 days and for the rest of this vlog, but we need to focus on one book at a time. And the book that we are on, as we all know, is The Strength of the Few by James Islington. I have made it to page 139, which isn't nothing, but we have some ground to cover. Over the next 2 days. I thought that maybe I would give you a quick little synopsis of book 1, because I cannot talk about this book. I can barely talk about this book without spoiling anything, and I will not be spoiling a single thing for you, so don't worry. But The Strength of the Few is book 2 in the Hierarchy series by James Islington. The first one is The Will of the Many, as we all know. If you haven't by chance read or known about The Will of the Many, a very quick, brief synopsis is that it follows our main character, Vis. He lives in this world where power is maintained by will, which is also our magic system. So there's actually a little diagram. There's a Kentenin ranking. So this is the direction in which will is seated. So the people at the top, they are called princeps, which isn't really important. Don't worry about it. It doesn't really matter, but just know that the people underneath each section is seating will, which is like the literal, the will to live, the will to have power, the will to give power. That is what the magic is based on, the will. You know what I mean? Each group beneath the previous one is seating will up to the very top. So the people at the very top are receiving the most will, meaning they are the most powerful. And it's disgusting. It's like a multi-level marketing system gone awry, and it is very much, what government is. But this is their magic system, their political system. It is predominantly separated between religion, governance, and military. And in book 1, our main character, Vis, is going to this academy. He was an orphan adopted by someone who's higher up in the will rankings, who is sending Vis off to this academy to kind of get intel for him and also be sort of like a pawn in his grander scheme of games. But his adopted father doesn't really know that Vis also has like an ulterior motive and ulterior backstory that no one knows about. So he's going to this academy to get all of this knowledge and to try to figure out the truth behind a lot of things that have been going on, particularly with his adopted father and his brother, who has apparently died by suicide, but he doesn't believe that. So he is sending Vis off to figure out the truth, basically. And while Vis is there, he is also doing a lot of his own work because he has ulterior motives. And the thing is that if his adoptive father or the people that are also trying to use him as a pawn, if either side figures out who he truly is and what he's really doing, both sides will kill him. Like, it is very tenuous and it is so action-packed and cutthroat. And let me just tell you, the book kind of has a little bit of like a Maze Runner and Hunger Games vibes at some points. By the end of the book, I haven't been like so gagged by a plot twist in a fantasy book in such a long time. I think about the end of The Will of the Many far too often, and this book picks up like right where it left off. Now, being almost 150 pages in, I have a grasp on what's going on, but oh my god, I am so excited to be reading it. It is masterfully constructed already because we're following multiple different stories that are all related to one another in some way. And even though every single storyline or plot that we're following within The Strength of the Few has direct consequences and has direct influence over the others, not all of them know that the other plots are happening. And it is super interesting. I'm really excited to be reading it, and I'm really excited to be continuing today and the next day at the very least. Hopefully, my lofty goal is to finish this by tomorrow, but tomorrow's also my birthday, so we'll see what happens. Regardless, 140 pages in, give or take. It's going really well. Writing is phenomenal. Story is like breakneck action. There's always something happening in each storyline, and by the time you get to like a storyline switch, you're like, but no, I have to know what happens, which makes you need to read through the next storyline to get back to the other one. But then at the end of that storyline, you're like, wow, what's happening in this one? Then it's like, it's a vicious cycle. He has constructed this so well to where I know that it won't feel like I'm reading for as long as this book is going to take me. So yeah, really excited. I think it's great already. It's a brilliant world, and I am just excited to be here. Like I said, tomorrow's my birthday. Today we are taking Avi and Sammy to their annual vet appointment, so thoughts and prayers for them. Juno had her vet appointment last week, so I'm gonna go lock in for a little bit. I'll come back once I have a little bit more read. Okay, so I've made it to page 200 now, and I feel like I have a very strong footing in each storyline that we're following, and that is such a good feeling. Like getting to the point in a high fantasy book that you feel like you can like really relax into the story. It still is going to be work, like putting together all of the intricacies of the plot and storylines, especially since there's multiple in this book. But now, anytime that there's a storyline change, I feel okay. And I just had like a really fun moment where another character from the first book showed up, and it was just like a casual, nice interaction, but it like made me like visibly smile, and I was like, oh. And then I got that like overwhelming sense that like, oh, this is comfortable, this is good, this is fun, and that's why I love reading. Right now I'm making an espresso, probably just a normal cappuccino, honestly. A couple weeks ago, I was at my best friend's bachelorette trip, and we were on a little road trip to get to Kentucky, where we stayed at this really pretty Airbnb, and I got a couple bags of coffee along the way, because as one does, you stop at coffee shops, and this one is called Little Wolf, and I wasn't not gonna get it, but it smells so good, and the flavors are chocolate berry, and it's creamy, and I'm just so excited. Our morning coffee was with these beans, and it was so tasty. So I'm excited to make a cappuccino with it. I'm gonna put a little bit of cane sugar in the bottom of the cup so that the shot will melt the cane sugar, and it just makes it a little bit sweeter. I just had some leftover Indian food because we ordered Indian last night, and it was perfect, but I can never finish it all. But it makes for a great lunch the next day, so I'm never upset about it. As we previously discussed, tomorrow's my birthday, and Caleb is making me a cake. I have told Caleb for the last like 5 years at least that my one thing that I want for my birthday, my 29th birthday, is a Schmidt cake. If you watch New Girl, then you know what I'm talking about. There's an episode where Schmidt turns 29, and the whole episode he is walking around going, 29? I'm 29, folks. 29? And it's my favorite thing. I told him, I was like, I'm going to be insufferable all day and I want a Schmidt cake. A 29 Schmidt cake. So he has been fully prepared and he is out getting a couple last minute ingredients and he's gonna make me a Schmidt cake. I thought by me telling him that I wanted a Schmidt cake, I thought that he would find a bakery, like find a local bakery and have them make it for me. But of course, the man is always doing too much and he is baking it himself. To be fair, his mom and sisters like do cakes, like they are incredible at what they do. And he said that he was worried that his family would like disown him if he bought a bakery cake. So he is just doing too much. I don't know what I've done to deserve him, but I have that to look forward to. And now I have this amazing cappuccino on the way. We're gonna make it, we're gonna drink it, we're gonna continue reading Strength of a Few, and it's gonna be great.
Is it worth feeling right over a piece we're upside down? Fighting so blind, blogging all night, it could be. If we lived in the power of now, it could be sweet.
What the? Do you see how real that looks?
If we lived in the power of now, it could be.
Hi, hello. I'm fully 29 now. Do you believe it? 29 in a day because I didn't vlog at all yesterday. I just had like the greatest birthday. The weather was much like it is today, except yesterday it was raining really heavily for most of the day. So it really was the perfect environment to be reading a lot of The Strength of the Few, which I did get to over halfway, like 420 something, I think. So I feel great about that progress. And I also was lucky enough to marry someone who spent literally all day making that cake for me. I need you to understand how perfect it is. Like, he's perfect. I love Caleb. He's the greatest. But also the cake, it literally looks just like Schmidt. Like, if you're a New Girl fan, like, it's the same picture. It was like a dark chocolate espresso cake with a cherry filling. We haven't even cut into it yet because by the time that we were done with the day's festivities, it was like really late after we ate dinner and we were so full. We made like a cavatelli and meatball thing. I don't know. It was really tasty, but we were so full that we were like, okay, we'll cut into the cake tomorrow. Plus, I am avoiding cutting into it. I don't want to ruin it. I'm so upset that I have to cut into that cake. It's so pretty. Other than reading and enjoying that amazing cake, Caleb and I made a couple videos for TikTok and Instagram that I'm so excited about. I love them a lot. That just reminded me that I have to post one of them. I was in pottery from like 9:30 until now. It's 3 p.m. I was putting in work today. I can't say what I made, but I made something for everyone for Christmas. Some of them watch my videos and I want it to be a surprise, but I made 5 little things that I'll show you later. I think they're going to turn out really cute and I'm excited about them. Other than those 5 things, I also made a little Christmas tree that's going to be a luminary. So I'm going to poke little holes that will be like ornaments, and then it'll be a little tea light in there. That was like the challenge of the day. That was like what the class was. And then I made a random little bowl that I don't think I took a video of, which is fine. But then I have had all of these pieces that I've made from the previous weeks. I haven't been glazing them because glazing stresses me out. You can love a piece and then you glaze it, meaning like you put color onto it and then it ruins it. I don't know. It could happen. But oh my God, I spent a lot of time. I was listening to The Strength of the Few as I was doing like this really intricate flame mug. Look, oh my God, it's in the shape of the cauldron. The black flames are going to be matte and then the like almost rust color will actually turn out to be black. So it'll be black on black, but the rust will be shiny and the flames themselves will be matte black. I think it's going to turn out really cool. I don't know. We'll see. I also did a little platter, which I did like a yin yang color scheme. Oh, I also had a second cauldron mug that again will be black, but the little stars and sword will be matte. And I hope that that turns out cool too. Like, I'm really just trying things. Like, I'm just having fun and learning. And then there was one more big bowl that I don't know if that'll turn out. I don't know. We don't want to talk about the big bowl yet. It kind of slipped when I was dunking it into the glaze, and I think it might get messed up. I don't know. I'm not excited about it. We'll see how it looks when it comes out of the kiln. But yeah, I had a really big day at the studio, and now I'm ready to go home and probably read. more. I don't know, it's 3 p.m. Like, we have to start our evening routine soon, which is crazy. But yeah, I just had a great birthday, and I thank you guys so much for everyone being so sweet and telling me happy birthday, especially on Instagram. Wow. Just wow. I'm so lucky, and I'm so grateful. And very quickly, the strength of the few, up until this point, it's just going so well. We're starting to see some crossovers. We're really starting to understand what is potentially happening in all the different storylines and how huge of an impact each one is going to have on the others. I am stressed, but it's going so well, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. I'm worried about the cliffhanger that I know I'm going to be left on.
29?
Hey, so really quick, what was that? What was that? Okay, all right, so it's very dark. We're filming by moonlight, basically, at 5:30 p.m., which is crazy, but hi. I just finished the first book of this video, which is The Strength of the Few, and I don't even know how to feel. I don't even know how to feel. I do know that I liked The Will of the Many a little bit more than The Strength of the Few, only because The Will of the Many had so many things about the plot and the storyline with like almost like a Maze Runner and Hunger Games situation and an academy, and every single page was exciting. And The Strength of the Few like is still very exciting. Every single chapter is leading into another significant plot point or something that will make you want to keep reading. I do think that James Islington is a very talented writer, and I do think that he knows what he's doing. But let me just back up, because this book had big shoes to fill. I think that The Will of the Many had such a humongous cliffhanger at the end of it, but not even just a cliffhanger, like it had the biggest plot twist I have ever read in a fantasy book. Like, I will never forget how I felt when I finished The Will of the Many. And I was kind of expecting something a little bit similar at the end of The Strength of the Few, which I think is wrong of me, because I think that at the end of The Will of the Many, we were introduced to the concept that is this book, and this concept that is this book is crazy. And I think that James Islington really did pull it off. I do think that it is a good book. I read it all in just a few days, and it's a very large book. And since it has such short chapters, it really didn't feel like I read for as long as I did. Like, I think this audiobook is like 35 hours or something crazy, and no problem. Bing, bang, boom, done. I did not feel like I read for 700 and whatever pages, which I think is a really big key factor in me determining whether I really, really liked a book, or at least if I was super engaged in it. Because if I was like reaching for my phone, just trying to like distract myself because my attention span wasn't there, like, then I know that I'm not all in it. But I rarely was able to take my eyes off the page. Me personally, I was anticipating a little bit more plot twists and like aha crazy whoa moments, but this feels sort of like a building book for me. Like, I'm excited to continue this series wholeheartedly, but I do think that this was very much a like world building and political system and political dismantling and like structure dismantling sort of story. I don't think that it's well, okay, structurally and like writing wise, I do think that this could be a 5-star read, but it sort of doesn't feel in my heart like a 5-star read. So I think I'm gonna just like end with a 4.5 right now, subject to change at any given point. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel really good about it. I'm really happy that I was able to read it this year, because I really wasn't expecting to, but thank you to the wheel for providing this option for me. But I'm really happy that I was able to finish this, and that does mean that we can spin the wheel again, which is very exciting. Okay, I'm going to delete The Strength of the Few from the wheel, and then we are going to go ahead and spin and see what the next book is that we're going to be reading together. Oh my god, I was really hoping for a short one. But to be completely honest, this is one that I really wanted to read for this video specifically, because I have not read Joe Abercrombie yet. Let me grab the book. Hold on. Damn, another chunker. I have not read Joe Abercrombie yet. Can you even see this? The lighting is so bad. It's The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Okay, I will say it's 550-ish pages, and we just read a 700-page book. This is a little bit shorter, which is great news. But it is kind of funny that now we will have read 2 of the chunkier books in the Goodreads Choice Awards, which... awesome. But yeah, wow, Strength of the Few. I'm so happy I read it. I think that my expectations of it were just a little bit more heavy on the like plot twists and action, which it was full of action, but again, it was just such a building book, which isn't a bad thing. It does make me excited for the next book though, because it did end with a large like, oh my God, what could possibly happen now? Nothing but mayhem, which is the answer. So very excited to continue that series. I'm not necessarily disappointed. I just am a little bit more like humbled with my expectations, I guess. And now my expectations are back up to read The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. So I'm going to get into this. I do work at the hospital tomorrow, and I don't know, we'll figure it out. But when I get into this a little bit more, I'll come back and introduce it because this lighting is terrible.
Just my next move.
Hi, hello. I have started The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. The hardcover edition is so absolutely stunning. The interior end pages are beautiful. Like, wow, you see this? And it's very fun because you see this werewolf and then look at my bookmark. Wow, what a time to be alive. I've made it to page 142, so moving right along. Like sort of grim dark fantasy, I think is what Joe Abercrombie writes predominantly. I don't know if his other books are like this, but it seems that he has like a very like humorous style of writing. I'd be curious to know if his other series have this level of humor in it. And I don't always like this type of writing, but I am really kind of into it right now. I think it all depends on like how interested I am in the characters themselves and obviously the plot and the storyline, but this book is very much reminding me of Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames, which is fun because Nicholas Eames did like blurb this book on the back. So I think that, you know, maybe they often get compared to one another. I'm not sure, but The Devils is following sort of like a ragtag group of people, almost like a Suicide Squad-esque is how I saw it pitched before. One of our main characters is Alex, who all her life has been a thief, kind of like living in the streets, but we find out that she is actually the rightful heir to a throne in the East. And our other main characters, which is like a vampire, a fighter, a necromancer, a elf, and Brother Diaz, all of them together, known as the Devils, are supposed to escort her to this throne safely. There are many people out to get her, and there's also a werewolf. I forgot, obviously, because there's end pages. Whatever, there's also a werewolf. It's very chaotic. Everyone doesn't really get along, obviously. It's a very like odd group of people and things to be together, and that leads to obviously a lot of humor and high tensions. Like, I have laughed multiple times while reading this. I can 100% tell that Joe Abercrombie is just like having a blast writing this story, which is a fun thing to be experiencing. Like, it is definitely like a dark story. Like, there's not like a lot of light fluffy things. The humor definitely breaks the gore and like the violence that goes on, but I can tell through the dialogue specifically that he's just having fun, and it really is making it a fun experience to read. So I'm excited to continue reading it. Definitely wanted to come introduce the book to you. Book 2 of the video. This is very exciting. And I also wanted to open up a fun little package. I might be becoming a puzzle girly. This is not an invitation for people to buy me puzzles, but I thought that I would get my first 2 puzzles ever and see how it goes. I obviously went to Le Puzz online and chose a couple that I would be excited about, and I thought it would be fun to open them with you. And maybe we could do one at some point. Wow, that would be fun. Okay, but I got 2. I got 2 different puzzles. This is exciting. If you told me at any point in my life that I would be excited to unbox a puzzle, I wouldn't believe you. I got a 500 and 1,000 piece puzzle. So the 500 piece puzzle is this one. I don't know if it has, the title is Kindness is Contagious, and that's what it literally says within it. Kindness is contagious or somewhere. I don't know, I can't see it from here. Oh, right here, contagious. The vibes of it were very much those little like plastic things that you would iron over, you know, and like make a thing. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, then you know. But I loved this energy. And it also, I think that having like the hard lines in some of the patterns would be helpful in doing my first puzzle. Then this one was also very like reminiscent of I Spy as a kid, those like books, you know? This is literally, it's just called Mystery. And I don't know, it's just a bunch of little items, which I think would also be sort of fun and easy-ish for a first-time puzzler. Look at how cute. Wait, I think, oh my God, I think this is actually going to be very difficult. It says the puzzle you solve is different than the puzzle you see. It's a mystery. So maybe like these items won't be in these exact locations. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like maybe it changes per puzzle. I don't know. That's kind of exciting, but it is a little nerve-wracking. I don't know who I am anymore, but I'm excited. And I'm also excited because I'm about to leave. There's 3 of us in our friend group that have November birthdays, so we're all going out for a group extravaganza. We're gonna get tacos, we're gonna go get some drinks, play pool, and I don't know, just have a good time. All day today I was doing reading spins with my patrons because I'm doing a weekend readathon with them. So I was able to get a few pages in after I edited tomorrow's video because it's Saturday and I post on Sunday, as we know. So I edited tomorrow's video, got some pages in, and now we're gonna go have an evening out, which doesn't happen frequently, but we're excited about it. And then I will be reading a lot tomorrow, most likely. So I will most likely see you then, tomorrow, for another update. Normally I would be here like halfway through the book to come and tell you how it's going, what the general vibes are, but I finished. I finished The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. And I didn't come update you in the middle of it because what I had to say at the middle of the book and even like 75% of the way through the book, I felt like I could just sum it all up at one time. I think that this book is good. I am interested to find out if this is how Joe Abercrombie writes every single book that he has, because if it is, I don't know if his writing style is necessarily for me. Like we already touched on, he definitely has some more humor in his writing, at least in this story, and I don't think that it hurt the book necessarily. Like I definitely was like giggling sometimes, like there were scenes and moments that were genuinely funny, but overall the whole like atmosphere and mood of the book just felt like it was clashing with the humorous writing style, because it is a little bit more serious, it is a little bit more grim dark, and I understand that like having a more like jovial tone in your narrative style is to like cut that and make it a little more lighthearted. That makes sense. I just historically don't love that. And it's complicated because I didn't hate it, but I don't think that I loved it. And the other thing that really stuck out to me is how repetitive this book was. Not only just within the narrative and the dialogue, like there would be the same exact sentence said multiple times in the same chapter. And I can tell that the choice of doing that was to lean more on the like more humorous style of narrative. Like, again, like I get it. I just didn't love it. And also there were multiple like bits of information that kept coming up told in the same exact way multiple times. And again, it might just be because it's trying to be silly or trying to draw our attention to it even more. Like I just didn't like that. I was like, I got it. We already know this. Like, again, like that is just my personal preference. The first 15% and the last 15%, my favorite. Both the beginning and the end, they were very, very gripping. I had a great time. The middle, I definitely was like having trouble paying attention sometimes. So I feel like in my heart it's a 3.5 stars because it doesn't quite feel like a 4, but it definitely doesn't feel like only a 3 because the character arcs in this is what really saved it. Like where our characters began and where they ended up, phenomenal. I really felt for every single one of them. I truly love every single one of them. This is like a character study on all these different types of creatures and people and these devils, these sort of low life society type of people, and giving them humanity and making us watch their growth and watch them figure out that they too realize that they matter and they have humanity. Like it's good. I really, again, I liked most of it, but I do think I'm going to settle with a 3.5. I feel that feels right to me. And we are going to spin for our next book of this video, which I'm actually so stinking excited about because I want to read. I'm just in the mood to read, which is a great thing. I just got out of pottery. It is like 3 p.m. Oh my God, it's 3:40 p.m. I have a little almond cortado because they were out of my 2 other choices for a fun drink. So I just got my old staple, which was a cortado. And I have a cheese Danish here. It's divine. I have to show you when it comes out of the kiln, but I made this snowman jar. She's so cute. And a little mug that has a little like snowman decoration on it. I don't know, it's really cute. I hope it turns out well. But okay, let's spin for our next book. I can barely contain my excitement. I know which one I want to read. I'm a little bit concerned, to be completely honest with you. There are a couple on here that I'm really just not in the mood for. And there is one that I have out on the library right now that I really want to get. Oh, this isn't it, but I wanted to read this. Okay. Wow, this is great too because it's so short. Ah, that's great. Great news. Okay, we have The River Has Roots. It's by Amal El Motar. It's just them. I think it's just them. That's a great option. This is one of the authors that wrote This Is How You Lose the Time War. You know, the one with the birds. I love that book and I loved the writing. So I'm really excited about this. It is like 100 pages or something crazy, maybe like 150. I don't know. It's really short. This is her solo authorial debut. It is a modern retelling of the Cruel Sister murder ballad and is set in the town of Thistleford, where the magical river Liss flows from the human world into fairy. It follows 2 sisters, Esther and Isabel, who are bound by a magical pact to sing to enchanted willows, but their bond is tested when one falls in love with a being from the land beyond. I'm excited. Okay. I do hope that we can get the other one that I already have out from the library next. I'm not even going to say it out loud because I don't want to tell the universe and then it smite me, you know? But that's great news. Okay, we're going to go home. I actually got a little salad from the place next to my coffee shop, and I'm going to go eat that. We're going to start reading. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I work Thanksgiving and the day after, so I will be gone. I'll be MIA for a couple days. But I bet that I will have this book done by Saturday, and we can talk about it and spin for even the next book, which is going to be great. Hi, hello. I just got back home. I haven't read anything yet, but I am kind of thinking that I should spin a second time because I think that I won't have a problem finishing this before I'm going to update you again. So I think I'm going to spin for the next book, finish this and start the next book. And then on Saturday, we can like catch up with one another. Okay. Like a little FaceTime call, because this book is 129 pages and I think it's going to read insanely fast. So let's just see what book I'm going to be reading after this one. Okay, here it is. Let's see what book we get. There are a couple on here that I wish I'd never even put on, so I'm a little bit concerned with the dwindling options. It's like Between Two, A Drop of Corruption. That's not one that I have at all. Oh wait, but do I have that on Libby? Okay, I do have the ebook on Libby, and the audiobook says available soon on Libby. Okay, so that is not the worst option. I remember I read the first book, The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I really liked it. So that's this book. This one right here. That one. That's the one that we got. I'm not mad. There's just one that I wanted to read more. But it's okay. Everything's fine. I don't know. We're going to have to see. But in the meantime, we will be reading The River Has Roots first. Then we will move on to that second spin. Happy Saturday. I'm glad we spun a second time because what is happening right now is exactly what I was hoping for, which is the review of The River Has Roots by Amal El Motar and I started A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. I'm only like 8% into that book, but I did finish this one on like Thursday night. This is a very, very short book, so the review will also be a little bit short. Surface level, this writing is absolutely beautiful. It's very like fairy tale, very allegory-esque, maybe a little heavy-handed at sometimes, but I also understand that that's just like what this story is, you know? I feel fine about it. I don't think that I'm going to remember it very well. However, what I will remember when I think about this book is how phenomenal the audiobook is. If you are looking for an audiobook, specifically like a very, very short one, oh my God, I'm sneezing so much today. If you are looking for an audiobook, particularly a very short one, this is absolutely stunning. Like there are like rushing river nature sounds. There are like women singing hymns and ballads in the background when our main characters are supposed to be singing. And it's really a beautiful immersive experience. Like it wouldn't take you long to listen to it. And it's just beautiful. The story itself, definitely like, I don't know, it just felt a little bit too quick. It felt like it could have been a full-length novel. And it wrapped up like even quicker. Like I thought that there was going to be at least 2 more chapters and there was not. But the book itself, on top of the audiobook being beautiful, the book itself is also absolutely stunning. Like hello. So like I think of it in a fond light, I think, but I think the story itself is going to still be like a 3 for me, which I think is fine. That's just where that one ended. Now, A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett, I think is very fun that the spinner wheel landed on this, because the reason that I read the first book, The Tainted Cup, is because of the Goodreads Choice Awards video last year. I think that's fun. And just like The Tainted Cup, I wasn't planning on reading this anytime soon. And I ended up loving The Tainted Cup. It was one of my favorites of the video. I think it was my favorite of the video. And now A Drop of Corruption, like I'm not saying that it's going to be my favorite of the video, but I'm saying that I'm having a grand old time. I love this writing. I love the setup. This is very much a like Sherlock Holmes and Watson situation, but with magic. Our main character is Dinius Cole, and he's Watson. And our like Sherlock Holmes is Anna Delabra, I believe her name is. And surface level, they are being invited to this like jungle-esque island outside of the, I don't know if empire is the right word, but they're like outside of their main government system to investigate a particular murder of weird circumstance. So the guy that was murdered was in his hotel room with doors and windows locked. The room itself was guarded all night, but in the morning he was gone, like absolutely vanished, and there was blood all over the bed. So they don't know what happened, and they are being sent to figure it out. In this world, also the magic, people like Dinius Cole can augment themselves magically to where they have certain like enhancements in sensory or ability. Like the guy that was murdered, I think he worked with finance or something, so he had augmented himself to where he can do a lot of like mental math and like be really good at numbers. And our main character, Din, has the ability to remember a crime scene down to a T, like the smells, the pattern of X, Y, or Z, you know, like every single thing he can remember perfectly. And so he does that for his partner, Anna Delabra, because she doesn't go to the crime scenes. She is like our neurodivergent representation, where she is in a dark room, or she's in a room and she's blindfolded almost all the time because she doesn't want to get overstimulated. Relatable. And so he goes and remembers the crime scene, brings it back to her, and then they will investigate together. And it's a really like fun setup. I love the normalness of magic in this world. Like most everyone is augmented in some way. And it's also interesting because the like class system is very similar to the Strength of the Few. It is Empire, by the way, I was right. But the military ranks of the Great and Holy Empire of Canum is Consulate, Prefecto, Commander, Immunis, Captain, Signum, Princeps, and Militus. Like, I think Signum and Princeps are the same names for some of the ranks in the Strength of the Few, which I just thought was interesting because we just read that book. But I'm really excited to be reading that. I think I'm going to have a good time, because one of my favorite books that I read in November was actually like a magical mystery Sherlock Holmes Dracula situation. That one's called Strange Beasts by Susan J. Morris, and I love it. But that has sort of put me in this mood, and I think that this is a great book for me to be reading right now. I'm very much into it. But unfortunately, I accidentally started to spoil myself for the final list of the Goodreads Choice Awards. It's November 29th. I went this morning to vote in the first round, and I found out halfway through voting that I'm actually voting in the final round. And I got to fantasy, and I was like, where are all the books? So we got to do that together right now. Yeah, it says vote in the final round. I just didn't even notice. But I'm thinking that we can go right to fantasy and only do fantasy right now just because that's all we really care about for this video. Okay, so Catabasis is there, which is not surprising. The Devils, which is good because I read that. The Sirens by Amelia Hart. I don't know why I'm surprised about that. Like, I know Amelia Hart is, I mean, she's popular. What did she write? What other things did she write? Oh, Wayward. Oh, I should have read that. I loved Wayward. Anyways, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Not surprised. The Raven Scholar, which I have already read. I'm happy to see it here. I think it's a good book. I think it's fun. Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yambao is very good for the most part. I think I gave it like a 3.5 to a 4. Like, idea was a little bit better than the execution, in my opinion, but I still love it. Strength of the Few, The River Has Roots, Wind and Truth, and Alchemy of Secrets. I feel like the Brandon Sanderson is gonna win, or Bury Our Bones, honestly. Well, I don't know. I didn't really love Bury Our Bones that much, and I feel like a lot of people are split with Catabasis, so I don't know what will win. Strength of the Few or Brandon Sanderson, Wind and Truth would be my guesses, and I don't know which one I would pick because A Drop of Corruption is not here, the one I'm currently reading. So the final book of this video is not even in the running, which is fine. But let's see, I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 10. That's actually really good. I mean, I think I would probably just vote for The Strength of the Few, honestly. Yeah, I would vote for The Strength of the Few. That's what I'm doing. That's my vote. I just structurally, like, the world and everything about that series is just incredible. So that's my vote. However, I'm still going to be reading A Drop of Corruption, and I'm going to tell you if I think it should have won, if I think it was better than my current vote, because I think that would be interesting, and it might happen. Who knows? Today I have to film and edit a video for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing Thanksgiving with Caleb's family. So I have to do a lot of work today in order to be caught up because I can't do anything tomorrow. So I don't know how much of the book I will be getting read today, but we're going to do our best and that's going to be enough.
To the tension for release. Good things come with ease. Don't resist. Thoughts and words hold power to make life. You will always win if you keep your peace. Breathe in, breathe out.
Wow.
Just relax.
Hi, hello, long time no see. You are balanced so precariously on top of a mason jar, and I'm really stressed about it, but this is what's happening. I wanted to come show you some of those final pottery pieces that I finally got back out of the kiln, and I also have a final reading update before I finish the final book of this video. This is that flame mug, the one that is matte black and shiny glossy black inside. I think it turned out really good. I'm also so proud of my feet. It's called a foot, but like plural feet, right? I'm really proud of them. I didn't do any feet at all in my first beginner class because I was too stressed. But I got a little stamp too that says Sid that I really love. It turned out really good. I'm really happy with that one. I'm messing with the cauldron mug shape a lot because I really like it. This is the cauldron mug that had the green stars around the sides. This is just pure like shiny black. Other than those green stars, and there is a little sword on the handle, which I think is kind of cute. It could be better. Again, I'm still learning like what to do and what to do differently after I see what happens. I am happy with it. I do think it turned out cute, but I do think I'm going to try some new things next time, you know? What were the other ones? Oh my God, you aren't ready. This is my pride and joy, okay? This is that yin yang style serving platter that I made. The glaze turned out like so good. Look at it. And where it crossed over in the middle, there's a little overlap and it made it sort of like a blue. It is just absolutely stunning. I love her. Wow, I wish the lighting was a little bit better so that you can really see, but it gets dark at 4 p.m. now, so that's awesome for mental health. But look, wow. And it's speckled clay, so the white has some like speckledness showing through. I love her. One of the big bowls, the one that I said we weren't talking about, it did turn out pretty good actually, but I am sending it through the kiln one more time to try to fix something. So that one I can't show you. But, oh yeah, the little melty snowman. This is a little melty snowman mug that I made. It's kind of perfect. Like, I love her. It's Caleb's new favorite winter mug. So little snowman guy. And then I hope my mom doesn't watch this video because I am gifting this to her and I really hope she doesn't watch it. She probably will. Mom, turn off the video. You can watch the rest of this video after Christmas, but you have to turn this off now, okay? Love you. I'm gifting this to her for Christmas because I'm so proud of it and she loves snowmen. It's a little snowman jar. Like, look at the scarf, the little heart cheeks, the lid. Hello. Do you see this? It opens. I did that. And it fits perfectly. Absolutely iconic. Look at how cute she is. Please. Okay, was really proud of that. Actually, I think that might be it because a lot of the other things were actively being fired. Like, I made 5 spoon rests that I'm gifting to people for Christmas. I made a couple different bowls and a mug that I already showed you. But yeah, I'm really happy about it. But I wanted to follow through and make sure that I showed you those pieces because I know all of you are probably dying to see. I would be concerned if the creator didn't show me the follow through. So hopefully you wanted to see. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. But I will tell you that I am 75% of the way through Drop of Corruption by, I said Joseph Gordon-Levitt. By Robert Jackson Bennett. This is going to be my favorite book of the video, for sure. And it's so funny that that's what happened with the first book in the series for last year's Goodreads Choice Awards video. I also ranted and raved about this book to Caleb today on our way to get our Christmas tree. I'm begging him to pick up the series because he loves Sherlock Holmes and Watson and anything regarding like the mystery like that. And I was just begging him. I was like, I think you'll love it. Please read it. And I think he might. So that's exciting. I'm just obsessed with this book. I'm obsessed with this series. I would have voted for this book if I had finished it beforehand, but also let's recap that this book wasn't even in the final 10, which is a crime. Out of the books that were left, I still think, yeah, Strength of the Few, that's fine, whatever. But we ended up finding out who won, which was V.E. Schwab's Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, which I could not be more excited for her. I personally didn't love that book too much. Like, I always love her writing. I always love her prose. Her atmosphere is second to none. I love V.E. Schwab. I'm happy that she won. That book just didn't hit every single mark for me personally. But again, if anyone were to win, I'm so happy that it was them. So, but for me, if I were to choose any book, I haven't even finished it yet. I know that I would choose A Drop of Corruption. That's how much fun I'm having. I am thinking about this book when I'm not reading it, a book that I want to cancel plans for, to go curl up and finish. The humor between our two main characters is my favorite thing. Like, Anna Delabra is this Sherlock Holmes absolute brilliant investigator in person in general, and she will go off on a tangent of like, this is what happened, this is who did it, this is how they did it, blah, 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 blah. And then Din, our other main character, our Watson character, would be like, okay, but then why this? Or what about this one specific thing? Then Anna Delabra will just look back at him and be like, well, I don't fucking know. Like, like, I just, if you've read the books, then maybe you understand, but like the like complete and utter brilliance then paired with just humbling, like, oh, I don't know. It's so refreshing and it's so much fun. But on top of the humor and the wit, the way that this plot has progressed, there's been so many moments where it's like, oh my God, are they going to figure it out? And then I look at how long I have left in the book. It's like, I'm only 35% of the way through, or like, I'm only 60% of the way through. Like, surely they aren't going to figure it all out. And of course, there is just plot twist after plot twist. A wrench in this plan, a wrench in that plan. Like, something new happened and we have to figure that out now. And it's just so engaging. Like, I am eating it up, and I just really wish that I had even more books to read from this series, but that does make it a highly anticipated release for the future, which is very exciting. I've actually been editing this video like most of today, other than when Caleb and I went to get a Christmas tree, and now it's completely done. I just have one more job, which is to finish this book and then give you a final review on it, even though we all know by now that it's going to be good. This video is slotted to go up this Sunday. It's Friday night right now, and just in case I don't feel like being camera in between my two 12-hour shifts, which I think is a high probability, here is a quick little voiceover of my final thoughts of this book. Hi, hello. I indeed Did finish the book today at work. Thank you, Past Sydney, for the introduction. A Drop of Corruption is for sure my favorite book of the video. It should have won the Goodreads Choice Awards in my opinion, even though I know that that's not realistic, and I know that a lot of people obviously don't agree with me. But based on my tastes and my enjoyment, like, I definitely had the most fun with this book. Structurally, I still do think that The Strength of the Few was like a smart choice for my vote, but if I were going off of enjoyment, I would vote for A Drop of Corruption out of all of the books that I read for this award. The reveals were great. The characters are just second to none. I want to follow them to the end of the world. I truly cannot wait to continue this series. This second book in this series really did solidify it in my mind, and I am no longer going to even consider putting off anything else in the future that this author writes in this world. Sammy's here, and he agrees with me. This book is 5 stars. I don't know if I've just discovered this year that I really, really adore a magical murder mystery, but truly, if you haven't picked up The Tainted Cup or A Drop of Corruption, don't put it off any longer because it is so much fun, and I just will be thinking about this book and this series until the next one comes out. I truly love it. Back to you, Past Sydney. Thank you for letting me interrupt in between my 12-hour shifts.
This book just makes me happy when I'm thinking about it. But anyways, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still watching, let me know what book you think should have won the Goodreads Choice Awards for fantasy this year in 2025. But if you don't have a horse in the race or you don't care, then down below leave me the sword emoji, and while you're down there, please do subscribe and like the video. It helps me out a lot. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!